Well, good morning, folks. Today is May 9, 2016. It's been a long time. I think we go all the way back to the lunar eclipse last September, since the last time I put a video up. And this morning we have the transit of Mercury, and I had all kinds of problems with the initial setup. I went and set my telescope up last night in the dark, had everything lined up, thought I had all my wires and everything hooked up, and wanted to get the egress of the planet as it entered onto the sun's disk. As you can see in the image here, we have clouds which have bothered me. We've had technical problems, and we've had all kinds of problems, but we're up and running now. And as you can see, there is Mercury in the upper right hand corner, the little black dot going towards 1 o'clock. And if this batch of clouds that has just popped up again will leave us alone for a few minutes, we can get a fair look at it. Let me get into a different screen here. Maybe I can zoom in on Mercury a little better. Let's see. I'm using my Atlas mount. It's the smaller of the two. Yeah, I don't like it as much as I have more trouble controlling it. It's the Atlas Skyview Pro that goes with the 127 millimeter refractor, which we are using today. I do have the ultraviolet UV block filter on it to try to give a little better image, and we're getting a fair image of Mars. I'm very disappointed that I had so much trouble that I missed the entry of Mercury on to the sun's disk. I was really looking forward to seeing that, and I'm really upset with these clouds which are now playing games with us. Want to do anything astronomy and want clouds? You got it, because every time you plan something to do for a big astronomical event, you can be sure the clouds are not going to be too far away. Let me see, what do we got here? Looks like we got a clear spot, but with some high, thin overcast we're still looking through. It is right now 8:04 a.m. Entry onto the disk was almost an hour ago at 7:12 a.m. Mid-eclipse today, mid-transit, actually 10:58 a.m. This is daylight saving time on Eastern Standard on the East Coast here in Connecticut. Transit will end at 2:42 this afternoon. And if things continue to work fairly well, I'll try to leave the setup together and see if maybe we can get the egress as the planet moves off the sun today. Of interest, and of course here comes our clouds again, is comparing the size of the two objects we're looking at. The little black dot is, of course, the planet Mercury. And of course, we are looking at just a portion of the sun. I'm using a 9 millimeter eyepiece on my f8.8 127 millimeter, which is a 5. What is that? Let's see, 4 is 100. Yeah, it's a little over a 5-inch refractor. And when you consider that the diameter of Mercury is 3,100 miles, give or take a little bit, and the sun is 864,000 miles in diameter, you can see the very, very huge distance, diameter distance between the two. Now, you also have to take into account, this is something that we kind of tend to forget about, is that Mercury is roughly 36 million miles from the sun. You know, it's very, very close compared to us at 93 million miles. So that also puts Mercury at around 30 million miles closer to the Earth than the sun is. So we're seeing Mercury much closer to us than than the sun. The sun is 93 million miles away for us right now, while Mercury is approximately 57, 58 million miles from us. So Mercury's closer to the Earth than the sun is and it still looks tiny in comparison. It's really a non-event as far as astronomy goes today, other than being something of interest. Years ago, they were very important. They helped, measure the size of the sun, the size of Mercury, the hunt for any atmosphere that might be around the planet. They were pretty big deals back in the day, but those days are long gone now, and these are just more events of interest to us. And of course, now we just got blocked completely by the sun, and here it comes back again. And of course, when it does that, it plays all kinds of havoc with the camera controls. Trying to zoom in. That zoomed almost all the way. I might have been better off going a little higher power. I didn't want to go too high. Let's back the power off a little bit. And just to give you an idea, to show you, let's see if my mount will act up right. Let's just go look for a few sunspots in comparison, so you can see the difference between that sharp disk of Mercury. I know there is a sunspot group. I saw it. I am having some issues with my controls with this mount today. In fact, that was a major that was a major part of the setup problem this morning. And as you can see, I'm having trouble controlling the movement of the mount. We're going good in that direction. And I know there is a sunspot group that is not too far away. It's just that I'm not having a lot of success with the controls. Come on, move, will you? And this is the one that's been giving me the most issues. I don't know. I think I've got a connection problem. And now, of course, now it's not going to act. It's not going to work at all, and I'm going to lose it completely. Yep. And I do not know why that is. I might have connect. Let's see if I can get it to grab and get it back, or at least we get okay. We got that. And now, of course, the clouds are going to come in and play havoc with us also. So we are having all kinds of issues. Here comes the image again. And if I can just get it to go in the right direction. Okay, we get that movement, and it seems to be this left and right that does not want to cooperate. And of course, if we lose it completely off the disc, I'll just have to go off the air and see if we can bring it back on later. Yeah, I have lost it completely. And it's too bad. We had a fairly good view of it, and I do not know why it's done this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down for a minute. If I can get it back on the disc here, I will talk for a few more minutes, and if the weather conditions hold, I'll see if I can keep this set up and see if we can get the egress as the planet moves off of Mercury this afternoon. So I'll end this video for now. I'll see if I can be back with you in a few minutes if I can correct these technical problems. But at least we got to look at Venus. I'm sorry, Mercury. Crossing the sun today, May 9th, 2016. Hopefully I'll be back with you in a few seconds, see if I can correct these problems.